channel. Welcome to this one-off video. I really wanted to just sort of present the game and really, I guess, present it in a way that sort of gets your head around the aspects that you may be sort of thinking, oh, this game really needs X or this game really needs Y to sort of make it into an awesome game. But it's funny, all the little things in my head as I started to play it, and I will go through what they were. Once I understood the design decisions for not including them, it actually made the game so much more fun for me to play. So I hope that I can impart that information to you guys. Now, let's just talk about the game. The game is awesome, by the way. So just to get that out of the out of the gate right away, it is really quite awesome. But there were these three aspects essentially that I really struggled with. The lack of an active pause when you're in real-time mode. The game actually has a real-time mode and a turn-based mode. Now, version 1 and 2 of the game in particular, and really I think that we've got to look at Jagged Alliance in terms of the actual overall series, because there's so many. It must have been difficult for them to sort of really try to hone down and make a really worthy successor to the games that were so good back in the early, well, not the early 1990s, in the mid 1990s through to the late 1990s, and then we really haven't had a great Jagged Alliance game since around that era, and Jagged Alliance 3 really does now fit that bill. It is a worthy successor to versions 1 and 2 of the game. So yeah, absolutely, like, this is brilliant what they've actually done with the game itself. So Jagged Alliance 1 and Jagged Alliance 2 were purely turn-based. Like, you would actually have to move all of your forces individually as you sort of came into different territories. Now, there were other games in the Jagged Alliance series that came on in between this game and Jagged Alliance 2, and generally they went in a very, very quick downhill trajectory in terms of their enjoyment. They had some really, really strange decisions, and I was always excited whenever a new Jagged Alliance game came along. And I was quite jaded, I've got to say, when Jagged Alliance 3 was coming along. I thought, here we go again. And then I saw aspects of the gameplay and thought, why the AI is dumb, it isn't attacking. Again, there's a design decision for this stuff, and I'll explain what all these things actually are. So I think what we will do is we'll start off, I've sort of been playing the game a lot and enjoying it a lot once I got my head around those design decisions. So let's just get the three design decisions out of the way right from the very, very start. So I'll go into a game which I'm fairly far into, and that way we can sort of just have a bit of a look to see sort of how gameplay does actually play out. In fact, I could even show the tutorial. Now, I think I'll actually do this. I might do both, actually. This will be a fairly long video. Okay, so the map is loading. By the way, each sector in the map, and there's a lot of sectors, has its own preset location. It's all deformable and destructible locations, which is really quite cool. So this is one we're going into. This is actually essentially a suburb of Fleetown, which is sort of in the middle of the. It's probably sort of still early game, but you're on the mainland in this instance, and this is actually a city that we're sort of trying to take over from the local militia. Killed a few of them already at this stage, but we're now, every time you end a combat where there are enemy forces on the map that aren't activated, it will then go into a real-time phase, and that's what we're going to be coming into. So we're now in a real-time phase of the game, and why would they do a real-time when it's a turn-based game? You can see that there's marauders, for example, sort of wandering off. When we lose sight of them, like this, for example. We should spot them a little bit in through that area. So we have these different aspects where we can actually get some interaction with the different units. Now, what I can do, I'm going to be moving Ivan. First of all, let's just go through a few of the little tips. If I press the O key, like it's in the letter O, I then have an overview, and I can sort of then see, if I can't see the units, I can't see them. He's wandering around here. He's just doing a loop, essentially going into this middle area and coming back through. There's also some other units that are wandering back and forwards between these as well. These are quite strong units, by the way. We also have NPCs, for example, like Father Tuca inside the church. There's that body that we saw there before floating around, and that was actually a shot taken at night time. It does have dynamic lighting. It's got dynamic weather systems as well. So we've got the other character will come back. I can grab I've got 4 units. I've got Ice, I've got Steroid, I've got MD, and I have Ivan. Now, at the moment, I'm pretty safe. So even though it's real time, hey, it doesn't really matter that much. It's just they're going through their walking loops. We haven't been identified, and I will go through how the identification process does work. And that's off-putting, I've got to say, when you don't understand what the design decisions actually are. So that's why I think it's so important to get these sorts of things out of the way. Let's just go back to normal mode. I can sort of zoom out to this level. There he is, he's back again. Or I can zoom in, so depending on how you want it to play the game. There is actually an active camera as well for when you're trying to sort of do different sorts of shots, but I haven't got that turned on at the moment. I wonder if I can do that. If I press escape, go to options and just have a bit of a look. I haven't tried this actually. UI, that's the display, the video, controls. Yeah, I'm not sort of seeing it there. Gameplay. There's a lot in here, I should point out. Show north, show line of fire. Yep, that's good. Highlight mode is toggle, so interactables can highlight for a time when a button is pressed or held down. Auto pause sector reached, yep, is on. Auto pause, I love pause. Pausing time in sat view. Auto pause operation start, so pause time in sat view whenever an operation is started and the operations menu is closed. And so auto pause operation done, yep, is on as well. Now I can't sort of see it there. There is actually a different way of playing as well, where you've got like a different sort of camera. Hide the action bar, that's okay. Target action camera. Here we go. So a special cinematic camera view that will be used when aiming an attack. I might just turn that on. I haven't tried that one. Let's just apply that one and see how we go. So we'll just go back into the actual game itself, return to the game. And so the closest thing to an active pause is to press escape and go into this mode if you need a breather, but it's not going to help you. Now, why don't they have an active pause in the game? This was the first thing that I was sort of struggling with. The reason being is that this is not a stealth game. This is Jagged Alliance 3. And there's going to be a lot of things where we start to think, why haven't they done this? You know, the other tropes of these sorts of, in this genre of game, always has active pause or always has, to hit percentage. Why don't we have a percent to hit on the actual shots that we're taking? The reason is that this is Jagged Alliance. This is a Jagged Alliance game. It is not XCOM. It is not Commandos or any other sort of stealth game where you're really solving a puzzle through the map. That's not the idea of the game. The idea is turn-based tactical combat, and you get to the turn-based tactical combat in this real-time phase, which speeds up your generally how you sort of approach the game. And so it works incredibly well. We still have options, and I'll do that now. I'll try to take one of the options to get a bit of an advantage with a set shot. So we'll try that one out. Let's return to the game. Now I'm just going to press the tilde key, the curly bracket, and select all of my units. I'm going to come down and click on H or on that button there to make them go into hidden mode. We're now going to sneak Ivan across into here, which is my best shot. I'm going to move Ice down, who only's got a machine gun. I'm going to move him down into here in hidden mode. I'm going to move, I'm going to change Steroid, and we're just going to get everyone set up. I'm going to press the I key. We're going to move his explosives down to replace his knife, so we're not going to worry about the knife. You can do knife fights. I find them much more effective in turn-based mode than in real-time mode. The real-time mode, it's sort of funny because you sort of expect it to work a particular way. Now he's going down that way. Hopefully he won't be spotted. There's no one coming. There's one there, but it's too far away.
Let's grab and go.
Now actually he can actually move. Now he's still hidden. Steroid now actually has his grenades. I might move Steroid across to there as well. What we can do is also set these up to go prone. Actually, they not allowed in the water to do that. What about this there? Yeah, he can go prone there. And you can go prone there as well. So they're just going to hide down there. MD I'll keep back over here. In fact, I might get MD up on the top. So let's just go to the floor up and get him up there. Now this guy is now in position. Now when he walks around, he's going to come back over this side. Let's actually take our shot from over here. Oh, hang on, we can't really. Now he's just standing there. Now I've got to then take the shot, and I'm just going to go and right click on his head, and we did a critical hit and knocked him out. Now if we did that one, now you've got to do it in real time. It does slow down a little bit. By the way, the game is quite graphic, so graphic warning, graphic warning. Now, are we still hidden? We are still hidden. So that didn't actually cause us to go into turn base. So we didn't but we're still in a good position over here with our units, ready to act on different things. So let's go and use Ivan again, and wait until we get another interaction. Here we go. So I'm going to go and grab the Grenadier. I'm just going to right click and missed. Now we're into turn-based mode. So the Grenadier is surprised. Ivan has now lost his hidden status. So that was not the sort of shot. I just wanted to illustrate what now goes on. And so now we've gone out of the real-time aspect, and we're now in hidden mode. Now this one is still unaware, pretty much. This character is not aware that there are enemies in the sector, but will be alerted by noise or visuals of enemies. Very susceptible to stealth kills attempts whilst made by sneaking characters. So he's actually not. They've got two Grenadiers in through here. This one is actually now alerted. If we have a look and see, I don't know if we can sort of see, yeah, they're surprised. So alerted but doesn't know what's going on. Better resistance against stealth kills, will become fully aware at the start of their next turn or when engaged by an enemy. So he trying to figure out what's going on. So this is actually where the hidden mode is useful to try to get advantage like this, but we missed, and so we didn't actually get what we needed. Let's just go back across into here. Now he's got no more action points, so that's pretty much our turn. Everyone else is still hidden, so they haven't been seen yet. And I'm not going to move them at this point. I could actually move, I might move Ice up into here, but now we're now in turn-based mode. Now he's actually going to be okay there, and I'll move, Steroid doesn't have a real lot of action points. It looks like XCOM, but it's not XCOM. And you saw there also, like now that we're in turn-based, let's just go forward a little bit, just end our turn in here.
We must be well groomed for battle.
Here we go. He's uninjured. Just a bit of a roll. Doesn't know what he's up to. These are now being triggered. They're having a crack at Ivan. Now we're still hidden over here, so Ivan is in a bit of trouble. I'm going to move Ivan around because we don't know if there's anyone over this side. I know that there is a character that's been over this way, but let's actually move back. And there's another one over there that's also not really noticing anything, so let's go into hidden mode in here. So they don't know where Ivan is now, and so they're going to come looking. So we've now got a bit of a trap. And this is what Jagged Alliance is about. It's about this turn-based combat. Hopefully this one won't see us. We'll get an indication if this one does become aware, but he's not aware of the other firefight. So let's end our turn in here. Okay, now they've spotted Ice, and they're now having a bit of a shot. We do now have an indication in here where at that location we do actually have some shots. So let's just move around. It's a free move to get there, meaning we don't use any action points to do that. So let's actually get into there with a hidden shot, and we'll try to take him out with Ice to start with. So we're just going to grab Ice. Now Ice can throw a knife. He does actually have, he's wielding a knife at this stage. But let's just go across. Now if we're just going to go and have a bit of a hit. This is where the 2-hit chance is a bit weird. So let's go through this particular screen. So the first one was real-time into turn-based. It is not a stealth game. The design decision to not have it as a knife fighting exercise is so that you end up in this turn-based game, which is Jagged Alliance, not Commandos, etc., etc. So that's the first design decision, which I fully support. I think it's actually a really, really good idea. This guy's out in the open. We do actually have a clear shot with Ice, and you can sort of see through here. Marksmanship for Ice is pretty good. Burst fire is not good. Let's turn the burst fire off. So rather than having a 2-hit chance, what we end up having when we click on a unit like this is that we end up with the basic information without really telling us a hell of a lot as to what's going on. So when we look at the accuracy and then the damage modifier, so we get the burst fire gives us less damage, 3 times 13 damage with a 3% critical hit chance. If I take it down to single shot, and he's using sort of like an MP40, if we go to single shot mode in through here and then have a look, for example, at the headshot. So we have marksmanship, which is a plus. The headshot is it's a smaller target. If I go to the torso, the trouble with this torso is it's armoured, so the attack penetration is too low to break through the armour. You will deal less damage and there is no crit chance for this attack. So I'm probably better off going for the headshot at 25 damage and 3% crit chance. It's not that much more, but he does actually have armour. Now we can destroy the armour with each actual hit. So I can actually go for the arms, for example. Arm attack, lower hit chance and damage inflicts inaccurate, so it's going to make him inaccurate when it's his turn to do anything. I've got damage modifier in through there where the arms sort of go down. Armoured again for each of these. Now, each of these attacks do something in particular, so you may have a very particular type of attack that you're wanting to actually then go and do. So let's go across and aim at his head. Now, if I just aim at him as well, you can see there we've got 4 action points at this point out of 11. If we go to the next one, which is 5, we're now getting aiming is coming back up. So for the torso, we have marksmanship natively to ice. We also have now aiming of ×1, and if we then go to the head, you can see we now have 2 bonuses and 1 negative. I do get better damage there. Let's just right click again on the head. 6 action points, leaving you with 5 action points then to do something else after this. So let's go for the headshot. Yep, 25, that was good. And we still now have 5 more action points, so I can go for another headshot. Now you can see there the accuracy, the marksmanship goes up, the aiming is still fine. The same target, we get another plus with that one, so we can just go with the same sort of deal. This one is now wounded, so hit points are reduced by 10 per wound, cured by the treat wounds operation in the SAT view. So in this instance, we just go with a headshot. We'll just do that again. Now I've got 5 of 5 action points. Missed. So that's not all that great. Ice has got no more action points left. We can then go across to steroid as an example. I can throw grenades. And I can there's a high chance of mishap. Still a high chance back in through there of actually hitting different things. I don't think I'll do that in that case. So let's just escape that one. So press escape, and what we can do, he's actually wielding a shotgun. So we can actually go across, and if I go and try to click on him, he's out of range of my shotgun. If I hover over, like if I click on him and then hover over different areas, I then actually do have an ability to actually go and hit him there. He's severely wounded. I think I might take him out with either Ivan, who's now hidden, or with... or I might do it actually with MD if MD can get a good enough shot. I've only got 9 chances in through here, so let's just go with right clicking on the headshot. We'll just use as many as we can. 8 of 9 action points there. Yeah, it's only going to, the armor piercing. This attack will penetrate the enemy armor. Slight damage reduction. So 20 damage there. It's actually not too bad. It's a stealth kill, so he's unaware of that, so that's actually good for us as well. So this is actually, it's only the range is the only real problem here with the torso. Let's go with the torso because he's got an actual an AK-47, and so he actually will get through the armor that the guy is wielding. Let's take this one. It's a much easier shot than the headshot. We end up with 2 minuses. Again, once you know that the idea behind this is to not be an XCOM game. This is Jagged Alliance, and Jagged Alliance is more about just making the best of what you've got. In this case, this is our best chance. Missed. Now, see, he's actually not doing all that well. Now, Ivan is really our best shot overall with marksmanship. So we've got this one through here. Actually, I do like this mode. Now, Ivan also has the AK-47, but in this chance we don't actually have the shot as such. If we go with the headshot, let's do it with, say, 8 there with a headshot. Critical hit, and he's down. Okay, now let's move around. He's still hidden. We can just get him into safety. I wanted to leave a little bit so that this guy wouldn't see what's going on. This one's now exposed. These are both... Actually, no, we've still got... steroid is still hidden. Let's go and make an overwatch so that if he moves across into this mode, then steroid can get a shot with his shotgun.
I will wait for the
Don't know if that's going to be the best spot. Let's end our turn and see how we go. So this is sort of how... This is Jagged Alliance. This is the way that the game is to be played primarily. It is not a stealth game. It is not XCOM. Does that make sense? I think it certainly makes it more fun to play. Oh, not good. Right, so we're now sort of, that one didn't actually quite get to see where we were. This one's still actually got the Zs, so it's unaware. This one here is very strong, but actually I don't think it's seen us properly. So we need to now kill this one off. Now steroid out of range there, unfortunately, so you can sort of see it's, I mean, we can still take the shot, it's just not going to be as effective. And then we've got MD up in the top here. And I'll just go with this particular shot. Again, you can see there we've got torso shots. MD is not a good shot. Oh, that was a burst. Single shot. Yeah, he's terrible shooting. He really is bad. Now, if I move to there, I want to sort of be away from the other guy. Was not good. I accidentally clicked on the head. I should have done better there. He's now bleeding and he's taken a reaction shot. All right, time to get the others out now to take this one on. This one is now weak. He is bleeding. So if we go across with ice, for example.
Got a good shot on this mother.
So we've got a good shot on him. Single shot to the head should be okay. Marksmanship headshot. He is bleeding, so this character takes 5 damage each turn. But he did start off very, very high. We don't know exactly what his health hit points actually are. So we'll take 6 for that shot. And now he's actually hit us and with a reaction shot and caused us to start bleeding as well. So let's go for this one again. See, he's still alive. Right, it's time to get steroid up. So we're going to put steroid into this. The action point cost deduced from free move. I think we're going to be okay. It's a free move to be into a sitting position. That one's now spotted us. Now we're out of range, so we're going to move up slightly. And we'll just take this one. We've got 2 shots in here. Now, I'm going to aim for his head, but we are just trying it with a shotgun. We can go double barrel. So double barrel is 2 times 63 damage. Let's just give that one a bit of a crack. So we'll do that one. That's going to now use up everything. We'll just aim for the torso. There we go. Blown away. So that one's down. Now we need to reload here, which we're not going to be able to do just yet. So we don't have the action points to do anything in through that side. Can probably go down to prone mode again there as well. So that's basically the turn-based style combat. We actually now have Ice is now in trouble because Ice will be bleeding, I think. Yeah, we'll take 5 damage each turn. And so Ice has got a fair bit of hit points at the moment, but we need to get Doc down to that location. And Doc doesn't have any more action points. So this turn we've sort of all done. And then we just now have to wait for these other guys. And then we play out this fight. Once this fight is done, this one isn't aware, we can then sort of go back into real-time mode and reposition for the next fight. I hope that makes sense, but this is what is great about Jagged Alliance 3 and why it's not XCOM, it is not Commandos or any other sort of stealth game. So they're the first 2 things as to why they've made those design decisions of not having active pause and not having the hit percentages. It's entirely up to you understanding your group of mercs in this sort of instance. Okay, let's go back to the main part of the game because there's still some other things that you may. What I might do is I might actually show the tutorial mission and go through the third thing that I think people are going to struggle with, which is why is the AI so dumb? That's what the thought process is. It's actually not the case. Let's go into it. You saw there that there was actually movement. They were moving they were unsure of where things were. They didn't take cover, but this one has taken cover. So he's looking after himself. The others didn't know what was going on, so they rushed in. But we'll do the tutorial so you can see exactly sort of how clever the game can actually be. So we'll pause this. Now, it's the little things in the game that are just so awesome. This is the same 4 characters that we were just playing with there. They're in the cutscenes or in the menu screens and so on and so forth. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn up the volume on the game a little bit, just so that you can actually hear the voiceovers, because the voice acting, the dialogue, the story are all brilliant. It's incredibly well done. Let's go to new game, and we'll just sort of start off. So we'll just go in with I'll call it tips. I hope I haven't got one that's already called this one. So you set your difficulty back in through there. Just press enter, set your difficulty. Forgiving mode makes it even easier if you really are struggling with the game, which is great. I love that, again, they've sort of made it so people can play their own way within their design parameters or their design constraints, for example, like no active pause. I do hope they bring active pause in, but it really, the rule of thumb there is don't use knives in the real-time phase. It's not going to work for you. So it's just going to you're going to struggle with that. I've tried I thought that was what I was supposed to be doing in real time for hours, actually, trying to figure out what am I doing wrong. I was getting very, very frustrated until I then started reading about what the design directives were for the game and why the design decisions. And then I came across it's a tactical gunfighting game, or a tactical game primarily, and the real time is not for that. Hope I've drummed that in enough, because it really did impact the enjoyment I had with the game when I realised that that's what was going on. I'm going to turn off the tutorials. There's a lot you can do through here. Targeting the action camera, I will actually turn that one on. It does make it a little bit easier to see what's going on. So we'll start a new game. Now, it says that it was the original Jagged Alliance games of the 1990s poked fun at the cliches and stereotypes that existed in the action movies of the time, which they did. Jagged Alliance 3 continues this tradition, but also takes jabs at contemporary issues and pop culture. I haven't noticed that, like it's sort of, I thought there'd be more on the edge sort of stuff. I don't mind where it is, but it doesn't really sort of do much there. It's not, it doesn't poke fun for the sake of poking fun at anything. It's just a really, really good game. Anyway, let's just click out through there. I'll skip past the story elements.
No one is available to take your call.
So this is just setting up the actual story itself. So we're here in 2001, which is sort of like the logical progression from Jagged Alliance 1, which I think was 1995 or 1996, and then we've had like 1999, I think it was Jagged Alliance 2. So 2001 is sort of like now the setting for us in through here. And so a lot of the stuff we see in through here has got the same sort of funny graphics from that era. Like, for example, the GIF files had very high indexing and pixelization of that time. It's just all really, really cool. I'm surprised they haven't used Comic Sans, to be honest, but anyway. As the font. Let's just go and continue, and we'll just go and build up a few of the mercs. So I'll just go through a few of your and it harkens back to those glory days of the late 1990s, and really just it brings it into a modern area, but has really relied heavily on the on what they've actually done. And so you'll see, for example, there's characters like Fox, so Cynthia Fox Guzman, for example, who was one of the doctors. This is interesting. Both doctors are unavailable. This is always random as to what you then get or what you can't get. So Fox is not available. Mouse was from the original games. A lot of these I don't remember. MD was as well. Fox was. Don't remember if Steroid was. I think Igor was back in through here. Bit of an all-rounder. Barry definitely was our demolitions expert. I don't remember Grizzly. I mean, it's been a long time since I played it. Fidel, I remember. That was another demolitions expert. Raven, I'm not sure about. Thor, I don't remember. Wolf, I do remember. He was great. Ice, for playing with in the current game. He was from the originals. Good old Grunty. So if we let's hire Grunty. Like he's always the cheapest, but I think he always wants to have someone better around him. So we'll just go and contact Grunty.
Hello. Unfortunately, you have no experienced mercs on your team. This is a risk that I consider unacceptable.
Okay, so he won't join us unless we have someone experienced. So let's go with now Wolf's the same type. We do need to have a doctor. Is Thor going to be the best? We do need a doctor. So Thor is going to, unfortunately, we've got 40,000. Thor's going to cost us a fair bit of money. So let's contact Thor to start with.
Hello, I am Thor Kaufman. I am always open for new adventure. What are you proposing?
And we'll do it for 7 days. We'll confirm that.
I look forward to working for you.
All right, so now we'll try Grunty again. He still won't do it. Still won't do it. Okay, well, we're a bit screwed in this case. Let's go and restart. and see if we can get some of the cheaper guys. Yeah, now we come in. Wolf's offline, Grunty's offline now as well, but we do actually have Fox and MD both available in this particular run. So let's go with Fox.
Fox here. If this is about a job, I'm all ears. Well, that's not completely true. I have other parts too. Great. I just have to pick up some suntan lotion and a pack of surgical gauze, and I'll see you soon.
Now, depending on what the situation is, the voice acting does change. If Wolf was available, she would urge us to employ Wolf, because they have interaction between the actual characters as well. So some of them don't like each other. For example, MD and Steroid, and Steroid's not available in this particular one. He's saying that Buns is worth actually picking up, so Buns is recommended to us. Now, where's Buns? Buns was in here. Now, Buns is a sniper. Well, let's go and grab Buns. Actually, and we've now got Ice as a recommendation there as well. But let's go with Buns.
You've got Fox on your team. Obviously, you're more interested in the sizzle than the steak. Call me when you're looking for something more than a pretty face.
So there we go. Bit of interaction. Doesn't want to work with Fox. We'll go for the Ice. He's or Blood. Either one of the actually Blood's a bit. There's a marksman. Marksmanship is actually pretty low. What about for Ice? Ice has got better marksmanship, better chance to actually hit. So we'll contact Ice.
Ice here. So, alright, let's give it a spin.
There he is. Okay, he's in. So we've got our marksman. We do need to have like a soldier. We'll just go back to the recruits, and we'll go with Mouse.
A mission, right?
Just do the offer. But again, the voice acting is great. And what else do we need? We need a mechanical. Now, Steroid is good at that. Kalia and Livewire both have mechanical skills. Actually, Livewire's got better mechanicals. Yeah, better. So she'll be the better one to actually have in this sort of role. So let's go. Should bring her in as the mechanic.
Hello there. Are you in need of my skills? Ah, fantabulous! When do we start? Where are we going? Oh, will there be candy there, or should I bring my own?
It's very well done. Anyway, I think it is anyway. The other thing you can do, we've still got like about half our money, and you do need to save your money, so don't burn it all. There is actually don't go for the elites. Don't sort of go for your like Ivan really has made it very difficult for me to complete the mission that I'm currently playing simply because of the cost. I really can't sort of I shouldn't have gone straight for Ivan. He's an incredible player. Again, just thinking back to he's I think my favourite player from the original games. You've got the legendaries there as well with Scully and Magic and these sort of characters as well. Scope. So they've got some really amazing characters there available. Sydney, and so they're all there. You also have the IMP web, where you can actually go and log in and just click on OK. And then you can actually go and build your own Merc if you're wanting to. So 6,000 or 7,000 to build your own Merc. We just go next. And so if you do want to actually have someone, there's not very many characters. I hope that they add more. This is an early access game that I'm playing at the moment, like pre-release. But you can sort of go and tweak the amounts, if for whatever you actually want with your characters. To be able to then do different things. It works very, very well, the way it sort of does actually work. So anyway, that's sort of where we are. We'll just go back to the aim. This is the evaluation where we can sort of see what the ones that we've actually got. So we've got Fox in through here, for example, and we can then sort of see all of her different stats. Her talent is striking looks. So when Fox opens combat, enemies become surprised instead of aware. Returns the action point from the opening attack. So she actually gets better benefit by interacting with the enemy. So maybe we'll do that. Actually, no, I'll do it with just a standard one because that is something that she actually has that's very particular to her because of her good looks. Scoundrel, yep, so first weapon spot for the turn is free. Faster completion of the trained millet. Now these traits, if we go to the perks, she's level 2, so she's actually got a few different perks that have now come through. And so we can see there that she's actually picked up, the perks down in through here. So she's an opportunistic killer, so enables crits with interrupt attacks. So these are all the different things that ultimately you can start to pick up as they start to level up. Now, she doesn't have any perks available at this point in time, but you then get all these different sorts of perks for your mercs as they level up through the actual game itself. Again, just works very, very well, very, very clean the way it's presented. And so all of them are in this sort of category. If we just go across, this is Ice. Again, we can sort of see that he's got like a couple in there. He's level 3. His marksmanship is quite high. Just get used to, get a feel for what your mercs have actually got when they are going to be going in. And it's just really nicely done. There's only level 1, so we don't actually have any perks in through here just yet. If we just go back to the stats. So, yep, so that's her in through there. So she's good at sneaking, for example. And so once you actually get the feel of the team, and it really does feel incredibly unique when you actually are playing the game. It's amazing what the game actually does do. I'm gushing over it because it's just so damn good. Let's just go and start. So we start off, this is the island, I can sort of see, and this is the actual overall map. You can see it's a big grid. The game is designed to be played, even though every single location is designed and structured. It's not a puzzle game again. That's why they don't have the active pause. It's designed to be played as an open world where you then go across and sort of start to liberate each of the actual factions where you have choice. And that's actually important in terms of what the game is trying to do. So be aware of that. It does make a difference when you actually are playing. So we'll just go and you can see there we're arriving in Grand Chien in through there, and we end up hitting this little beach back over this side. This is I1, and then we go across into these other different locations and sort of start the actual process. Originally we want to take this little island and then use this as a base of operations to then start to hit the mainland. But again, it's up to you. As long as we can't leave the island until we get a port. Just go through what we can sort of see on this one. So this is the main view. We then go to the notes view where we can't sort of see any notes at this stage. I might do this one with one that I've been playing a bit, so you can sort of see exactly how far we actually are in or what actually happens. Let's just go and enter. So perks. Yep, they gain more perks. Close. I think I must have left the tutorials on. Hopefully it won't be too much of a concern. The thing I want to show you here is really what actually happens here. So we've got unknown enemies in through this other side. So let's go and escape, and we'll do the mission in through this side. So we're actually it's now paused. It's 6 AM, Wednesday the 4th of April 2001. So we're just going to come back in. Now this is the tactical view, so I can actually just go across and then go into the actual tac view in through here. It's clear weather. So, and it says shots in the torso are the easiest, but shooting other body parts can inflict additional damage. Let's just go and start. I've got a funny feeling I left the tutorial on. So here's our characters. They're all moving in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and position, we go into the real-time phase now. So I'm going to press the tilde key or the curly bracket. I can go into hidden mode, which will just give me a little bit more of a chance to then move around. Let's move everyone up. Like this is the tutorial mission for the game, and I wasn't impressed when I saw this. Let's just move everyone up to here because there's no interaction. There may be things to find, so always have a bit of a look around. That's another thing I think would be good if it did highlight where the hidden things were a bit more than what it does do. You've really got to sort of look at every single little thing to be able to sort of figure out what's going on. Now if we just move across. Now we know that if Fox initiates the attack, so we've got bad dude spotted. We've got a where were they? Okay, guy over there going to the toilet. So we're still in real-time mode. The tutorial is on, so I wish I hadn't have done that. So let's just go across and set this one up. Now I'll go in with Ice, I think, or even with Mouse. Let's use Mouse. She is the actual soldier of this particular operation. Now he is no longer being seen. Let's just move across into here. Now what we're going to notice is when this one goes in, I'll just set the others up as well. So we've got live wire is not really important for this mission, so I'll move her across to there. Fox is also not really important. I'll leave her back as well. Then we've got Ice is going to do the long range shooting, so I'll move Ice to there, and I'm going to move Mouse up into here. If you stay in the shadows, it helps. Now, when we trigger the unit there, he will see us. Now he becomes aware. We've got a little bit of time to do something before he really does become activated, and then he's going to become aware of us. This is what annoyed me with the game. Now, Mouse is actually skilled at doing this, so she can actually sit here for quite some time. So he's unaware. Now he becomes aware. I thought, what the hell? He should be shooting at me, but he doesn't. He runs off. The others have now become aware, and they're now hiding. And so I was concerned about this because I thought, oh, why is the game so dumb? Why is it not actually activating? When they become activated like this, and Mouse is a special character who can get closer than anything else, there's actually the turns go, like once they become activated, like in a surprise like this where we haven't actually done an actual attack, like what we did in the previous example, like where we actually was trying to get like headshots and things. In this case, we are now in the turn-based mode. The first bit when they become activated, they do not attack. They go and try to take cover, and then you then go into where you can attack, and it's then to and fro's from there. So the first mode, the AI does not attack in the first mode, just so that you can then get yourself set up. Now we can sort of move across. Probably really in reality, what have we got? We've just got ourselves a high-powered pistol. If I go across, for example, into there, it's going to take me 3 of the action points, so I can sort of figure out where I need to go. Like at that stage, we don't have any actions. No, we do actually have them from there. We do actually have it from there. So let's go and move her across to there.
You don't think they'd shoot a mine, do you?
And then we can do the shots in through this side.
You can do it.
So we can now just go for the headshots. And so that was a big enough hit to knock that one out. Now I'm just going to move her back.
Look at what I just did.
And if I just do this one into here, back there, they can't really sort of spot me much, so I'm actually okay back there. The others, they're still hidden, but that's the reason why the AI seems so dumb. I saw so many playthroughs of this first mission and didn't understand the intricacies of how the game ultimately does play out. But as you play the game, don't be put off by what you've seen with the tutorial mission. As I say, the AI first turn moves away into cover, then it starts to play. But also in the tutorial mission, these are very, very easy to kill off. So anyway, I think I'll leave that there. I will actually open up one of the maps that I've got where I've actually been fairly active on the island, just so I can sort of show a bit more about the way that the maps are laid out, so that you can sort of get a bit of a feel for how that actually does work. Alright, so this is actually a part of the game where the town of Ernie is 60% on our side now. The more actions we do, the more that they come onto our side, the more that we sort of interact with the people. I can actually go in and actually go into tactical view, wander around the streets and do whatever else we want to be doing. It's basically one minute past midnight on Sunday the 15th of April 2001 at this stage. I'm nearly out of money, so money is becoming really quite desperate. So I'm in trouble. One of the things with the game is that if we go through each of these, and then I'll just go through and sort of show you how missions get set up, which is really quite cool once you've actually got different aspects set up. So the main view is just the main view, just gives you a bit of an overview. We know a little bit more about the enemy territory or the other territories, and this will then become more and more exposed over time. You can see through here on the island we actually have like an underground sector, so there's an underground map on top of this map. We have the overground and the underground, so there's like a bunker there. In through here, this is the actual enemy outpost, and you can see there's a few different factors we have been able to deal with. We've got like a deal with Bastion and his family. This is actually one of the factors that we need to deal with at this one. Stash of weapons and ammo won't be making its way to Fort Labu because we've cleared out the underground sector. We do actually have Dee Dee at the Emerald Coast of I3, which is down in here, is supplying the Legion with explosives. If we can deal with her, but I don't have time because I need to actually go and get things sorted. So I can't go down and do the mission down here to get her sorted out so she doesn't supply the Legion with explosives. The Legion are the enemies, and then we actually have the outpost currently does not have an assault squad present. in the previous turns, I've actually been able to destroy. They sent an assault squad against Ernie, and we along with some militia that we'd created, we actually then defended the town. So it's and again, it's completely open. You can decide exactly what you want to do with your mercs. It really does feel special, the game. Now, back while we're in here, we can do different operations at whichever location we go to. So if we go to operations in through here, you can see that nobody's wounded, so there's no wounded mercs. I can't treat them. Scanning the area, I've already done all the scouting, so there's no intelligence to be gathered. That's very important if you've got the time and money to do it. Militia training back in through here, and you'll see in a minute why that is important. The H2 operations, so whip the civilian population into shape, turning them into a local militia, so you can actually create a militia there. We lost 2 of them, so we've only got 2 militia left in this location, which is not really enough, but it will be okay once we clear out that base at the other end of the island. We can train more mercenaries, so assign a trainer to improve the stats of other mercs. The trainer must have a higher stat than the trained merc, so we could use Ivan, for example, to train the rest of the team. We've got rest and relaxation. I've just done that. Everyone is now fully fit and ready to go. I've had to do that because they were really quite tired after all the other missions. And then we can actually go and repair items as well. So these are the different operations. These are really simple. You just basically go to repair, find whoever's got your best mechanics. In this case, Steroid's got 76, Ice has got 42. Just going to allocate, we could allocate both of them if I wanted to, confirm. And then we just pick items and sort of see, we can see there that there's a damaged piece of kit there. We can just throw that into the mix. That's 14 hours to fix that one up. What else would we want to fix up in this one? Here's a 21. We can just grab that as well. That's 21 hours now to fix up both of those. So that's sort of how it then works. We would then sort of go and we could autofill and just go and grab whatever we want. That's 1 day, 15 hours to do all of those. And then we can just sort of then go and start. Now it does require use mechanical parts to repair. So we do actually need to have mechanical parts to do this. That's 23 of them, I think. So if I won't do it, but if we just abort that, and if you want to stop, yes, we do. So we're not going to be bothering doing that one. Yep, so we stop that one. We can go and wander around the town and interact with the NPCs in the town, which is always worth doing in the game, by the way. That sort of gives you your story events. Then we can go to the notes where we actually have different information. So down through here we have Herman is missing. Martha, somebody in the town, is looking for her husband who was kidnapped by the Legion and was last seen on the Emerald Coast. So there is actually somebody that's been captured down in here. So there is a mission to do here if we wanted to. And back over here there's a character that says Pierre may have information about the Major. So there's somebody here called Pierre. And the Legion outpost on Ernie Island is threatening the nearby village. So this is sort of something where I've actually let bad people go in the past, and they're all going to be here, I think, with what does go on. I don't want to give spoilers as such. Squads and operations. We've got our team has been resting back in through this side, and we also have the mercs. You can see there, that's Charlie's squad. I don't know if we cycle through the squads. Yeah, there's the militia squad with 2 different units there. So they're the 2 squads we actually have at that location. We don't get to control what the mercs, what the militia does, but they're there to protect the town, and we did train them up. Items and stash. We do have one item that we didn't pick up back over here, back in through this side. If I go to the stash and through here, this is the stash we have left at this location. You can't sell anything, or you can sell very little. You can sell diamonds, but in the previous games you can actually go and right-click on a piece of equipment and sell it. All we can do is scrap it for parts, so we can't actually do much with that, which is a bit of a shame because it sort of means that we have to then, we do need the parts, like these are the parts in through here to modify equipment, so we do need those, but we need money desperately for it in this particular run-through, so that's something we can't actually do. We can sort of go across and unload it, etc. Again, this is really quite cut down the way it does actually work. So it's pointless actually him having this flak vest. It's not going to do anything. So it's completely broken. Anyway, I'll leave it on him. But that's sort of where we are there. So that's the different stashes that you can then sort of leave around the place. But let's go across and do the mission back over here. So I'll just move them across the actual team. So I do that by clicking on that. Actually, no, before we do that one, sorry, I will just go back. Oops, pause. So I'll just leave it there. And if we then go back, the last one is buildings. So we have a port. We have to use this one to leave the sector, and then we actually have an outpost. But let's go to the outpost. We'll go that way and just get started. So if we click again,
We all go now.
now we're moving forward. and the destination will be reached when this one actually gets to the time lane. So it's going to be late evening on Sunday, the 15th of April. So we're now going in for the nighttime battle. So there are ways there may be ways to weaken the outpost defences in the nearby sectors before attacking, and that's what we've done largely. So we've got like a couple of units in through there. We've got there's Bastion, which is one of the story characters. We've got all these different, so like a blaster man, these explosives, all sorts of different things that they do. Grenadiers. Back across into here to the Yellow Jackets. Pierre is also a character that we have to then try to interact with. A couple of his guards are there as well, so he's fairly high up in the Legion. Let's go and start the fight. Now we've done intel because we've done scouting on the island, and so you can see there it's actually fog is also at play, which makes makes it harder to hit at long range. And we've got a few different information in through there. Let's just go and get started. Now, because we did initial scouting, we then end up having a lot of intel. When you've gained intel from a sector, you'll get just information about locations. So we've got tags are off. Not sure what the tags on does, actually, to be honest. These are the different deployment zones. We've got our west deployment zone down through here, where I can deploy my guys. I also have now found a secret entrance way back over here. So, of course, that's where I would be going to start off in that location. So we sort of start off in the middle of what's going on. There is a minefield down the bottom through here. There's a weak fence down through this side if we were trying to sort of plan different things. We wouldn't know this unless we did the scouting. No sentry on that particular area, so that does make this secret area a bit easier to deal with. Side approach back over here. We can't actually start there, but we could actually sneak around and then try to get through there. There's a weak fence up there as well. And so all of this stuff is now available for us to then try to find stuff out about. There's a back door back over there, which allows us to get into this main building. Enemies are located in these different locations. And then there's a diamond shipment there as well. So we now actually have a lot of information about what we need to do. So the diamond shipment will then give us a bit of money that we'll then be able to sort of go and pick up. So that is the deployment. It's very, very cool the way the game works. So in this case, we'd sort of be starting off in here somewhere potentially. So we just go that way, and then once we're done, we just deploy, and we're into the actual game itself. It's extremely well done, I've got to sort of say, with the way that the game actually does work. We can sort of just scroll around and then have a bit of a look around. So we're not really aware of what's around. We're now in the main the active phase, where we sort of now in real-time phase, and then we just get back into the actual fights itself. Every location is beautifully done. It's a massive game. There we go. We've got a heap of soldiers back out there that we're aware of. That's Pierre. So we can actually that's Ivan. I thought that was Pierre. Anyway, that's someone we could have actually spoken to, I guess, if we had started back over in the other location. But anyway, that's the game, guys. It is really exceptional, as long as you don't expect it to have active pause, to hit counters, and that you do understand that the first interaction with an AI, they do not attack. It's the subsequent interactions that they then actually have that do make an impact. I'll leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider liking and subscribing, or interacting through comments, whatever else it might be. But this is a really, really cool game. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.